sewer. The goal would be, I mean, they could send the gas meter down first and check for unsafe levels. This gas meter has an alarm and a vibration. So the tripod could be set up over the manhole. The person going down to work would be in a safety harness, and should anything happen, you wouldn't have to send another person down to retrieve him. You could crank him from a safe distance. This is something I've been watching. I know 2 years ago in Kennebunk, there was 2 people working in a manhole, and both of them passed away due to exposure.
Wow.
John, do we have a blower?
We do have a blower.
Okay.
It's part of this code.
No,
It isn't. No, that's
the
what
one
I
that
was
we're
asking.
looking at does not have the blower, because we do have one on hand that works. They do
They
have one
do have a
that
full
works.
package. If you
Oh,
need
okay,
everything, right, there would be more, but
Yes. But this one here, when I was looking through it, for the price, we're looking at a little over $800 out of our pocket.
Right.
The other 2/3 we bought in Korea.
Yeah.
I contacted the company, they're out of Virginia. You're looking at about $85 in addition for shipping. The other thing that I noticed too is that the weight for the tripod isn't heavy. So it's something that you can put in a bag. It should be reasonable to use, easy to set up.
Right.
Bottom line is, if it's a big burdensome and cumbersome, they're going to hesitate to use it.
That's right.
But if it is something that's user-friendly, they should be able to use it every time you go down in the hole.
I think it should be mandatory that we use
Yes.
it.
Yep.
does the purchase of this or the acquirement of this as our equipment help with our insurance rate?
It was noted that we don't have one
Okay, well,
from MMA.
I mean, this is a no-brainer.
I mean,
Come
this
on.
is, I mean, if OSHA or somebody ever came in and we didn't have the proper safety equipment. We do have a gas meter down there,
It can be
but
fine.
it's expired and it's uncalibrated.
It's time to upgrade, and it's time to have this piece of equipment on for the safety of everybody in that department.
Okay.
I agree.
I would like to ask the board, allow me to go ahead with the purchase from Major Safety. Like I said, your pricing for what they have, for all the equipment for that price, most places it was that price just for a tripod. I contacted a guy from Fastenal, and he came in a price, a lot higher.
I make a motion that we buy, purchase it, the proof can be safe and the criteria of all the insurance companies and everything, OSHA and anybody else, and Madam Chair's right, once it is purchased, that it should be put in the work schedule anytime doing the work on that particular, where this would be needed, set it up, put the harness on,
Right.
hook it in the back here, because I've worked on many jobs where I've had to have them on.
Yep.
I mean, it does feel like someone's going to throw you a bone or something, because you feel like
Right.
you want, but
It
the
could save your
thing
life.
is, the thing is it saves you, just like that.
The other thing that I talked about before, when the equipment comes in, kind of reminded him that this might be some type of gear that maybe the fire department may need, because I mean, if there is some kind of rescue, chances are, we're going to call out our best, which is our fire department, our ambulance, and our public works people to help us out.
Most certainly.
So,
Yep.
John and I discussed it earlier, and I think that after it is purchased and comes in, that we should set up a training.
Yes.
yes.
The fire department, the ambulance people, and our public works.
Yep.
And water company.
Water company.
sure. And anybody else that's interested in
Right.
that. You never know when somebody's standing there, it's like, hey, can you crank this? Yep.
Yep.
Right.
Right.
I mean, even if there is an emergency, perhaps the fire department may need it on another call. To know that this is where it is and this is how we get to it.
Yep. Yeah, very good.
Okay.
Good research.
We have a motion. Do we have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Thank you.
Thank you.
We applied for a micro enterprise grant on behalf of John's Charter Boat. We are looking to put in a gangway, an additional gangway, and a 3-unit floating dock system behind a 4-unit floating dock system behind the former marina. The grant money from CDBG is a $25,000 grant, but that will be turned over to the ship grant as match money. So we went after one grant, we told that we received it, and we're going to apply that. It is contingent upon us receiving the SHIP grant to fulfill the cost of that project. There is a grant implementation class in Augusta on July 25th. The awardees for the CDBG program need to attend. And last year I went to it when I became a certified grant administrator. They go over, the paperwork. They go over what's expected, what needs to be filled out. It's probably easier to get everybody in one class and do it at once than to have all these phone calls coming in. And I did find it to be worthwhile. The second day is becoming a certified grant administrator. I don't need that. But the class on Thursday the 25th, somebody will need to go from Lubec. I am willing to go. It's $100 for one day.
We'll be there.
Okay.
It's money well spent.
Absolutely, that's why we have John in the position that he's in to
Right.
administer this, because otherwise the town would be at the mercy of someone who would want the portion of it that they would have coming to them for writing it. And, that's why you get paid the big bucks, so that
That's
you don't have
exactly right.
to try to get that out of that.
Well, it's not only
But this
that.
is also a success story in groups working together for a common goal. We've all seen the increase in the congestion of the recreational boating at our waterfront. And this is one of the things that's going to be to relieve that congestion and to increase the economic development opportunities and to bring more people into town to spend their dollars in Lubec. This is how we're making it happen, folks.
We've had a lot of congestion down at the boat ramp. I mean, we saw what happened and everything that was caused by the floating docks not being at the state boat ramp. A lot of issues were raised. One of the goals that the harbor board's been working on is working on segregating the recreational boaters at the boat ramp, the commercial fishermen at the pier, and now if we put in this new system, your whale watch people, your quaddy dam people, I mean, they're going to be able, your pedestrian traffic will now have their place where they can go, and hopefully that'll relieve some of that congestion, and hopefully allow us to grow some more, and to have that infrastructure in place.
Yep. Yep, that sounds very good.
It's really important that you know how to do the paperwork and documentation.
Yes.
Because inevitably, you're gonna have an auditor on your doorstep. And when you do, you better know where the money went and how it was spent and that it was done properly.
Do we need to motion to have John attend that?
I would like to.
Okay, I make a motion that John attend the grant administrator training seminar,
Grant implementation.
grant implementation training.
A second? All in favor? Good job, John.
Next item is an announcement that the auditors will begin their work for year ending June 30th, 2013 on August 20th. So they will be here in the Lubec town office going through all the paperwork, going through all the files. My opinion of the auditors is, they're a tool. I mean, our goal is every year our audits turn out fine.
Yep.
If there are any issues, if there are any glitches that they see, we want them to tell us, making sure that we continue to do everything by the book, do everything right and correct. Because there is a lot of responsibility in municipal government because you're dealing with the town's money, it's taxpayer money.
It seems like it's growing.
Right.
Who's doing the audit this year?
Hollingsworth?
How many years have they done it?
They've been doing it about 5, which is on average, probably next year we should put a bid out.
To change up.
Yeah.
When, about 5 years ago, we put a bid out
Mhm.
and the person who had been auditing up to that time was not successful, so Hollingsworth came on, and we usually keep them about 5 years. There's also a state auditor that shows up periodically, so.
That's random, they're not asked, they
That's
just step in and say,
correct.
okay.
That's correct.
Right, thanks for mentioning that, because I was
Yeah.
going to mention that. There's been so many years in a row, the same one, and that's
Yep.
financially to be healthy, you need to show that you had somebody different to check it
Well,
out.
the other thing too is, I mean, it gives you a different set of eyes.
Yep. Sure.
And when you put the bid out, you really need to be sure that you outline your responsibilities so that you don't get someone who, even though they do a bookkeeping service, is not
Mm.
really a qualified or certified
Right.
auditor.
Yep.
What we need.
Huh.
We started working on a section of sidewalks.
Yeah.
It brought to my attention that a lady fell in the vicinity of SOS. I had a chance to talk to her, she showed me what happened. There were sections of the sidewalk there that was starting to curve. And so what we did was I talked to Ricky. He's offered, the guy from Public Works, to help with us. Like Kenny Moores from Recycling has offered to do some. We're gonna work steady at it, dedicate at least one day a week to the main crew. And I asked Ricky, I said, if anytime the boys want to finish out an afternoon, want to put a couple hours in, you know, that's a good place to put them. The boys were able to get down there on Wednesday. We put another day down there. It is slow going, but if you look at the work that they're doing, the bricks are being brought up consistent with the curbing. The new material is being placed in underneath the stone dust that we bought, and then we've got some sand that's going in and filling the cracks.
It looked to me, Bill, and I looked it over, in the original layout on there, the stone was down below the curb, wasn't it, in the beginning of that, and to me, that seemed like a quarter sign,
Yeah.
really, because if you go to step off just anywhere, you have that lip,
Right.
and I've never really picked up on it before or paid attention to it.
The other thing, is, I think some of that probably settled.
Yeah, I think it was settlage, and they used sand, and sand is not the best material for bedding that stuff because it's constantly sinking, and the stone dust is the preferred, better material. So we're using that where it counts, and then we're filling in the cracks, which is part of that process, with sand, because
Now, this is not a permanent solution. I know last winter we looked for, see if there was some grant money available, something that would help us put in, like maybe a cement base,
Even limit time would be.
something that would be a permanent fixture. And we are gonna try to do that again this winter, but I really thought that we've got some areas that
need attention.
really need attention now.
Yeah.
So we got about 4 areas that we identified that we are gonna spend some time on.
But I think if I remember correctly, at early stages of the CDBG committee meetings, that there was an unofficial response from the downtown merchants that they liked the brick.
Right.
When they heard that, oh, this might get changed to concrete, they were like, oh, no, we really like the brick. And okay, we understand that, but that there is a maintenance responsibility if you're gonna keep the brick the way it is. The only way around that is to pour concrete and set the brick on that.
That's what I was gonna say. I've seen it in one town where there's a pattern of brick in the concrete. And that looked very nice.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Yep.
It's more stable too,
Right.
I think.
Yep.
Almost certainly, yeah.
Yeah.
You're not gonna get
But
a
you
cone.
still had the brick effect.
With the pattern, it's like a cookie
Yeah.
cutter.
Right.
Yep.
Right.
So
So,
that would be,
With this issue coming up again, budgetary, I would like that to be then, since it was taken out this year, we have a chance to have, we're on the list for $200,000 if we can come up with 40, so.
good vote.
It's a safety issue, it's, getting people around town, there's more people walking these streets than ever before,
Yes, I'll count on it.
and most of them are in the middle of the street.
because it's not safe to be on the sidewalk.
Well,
Or
there's
there
no
isn't any.
sidewalk, there isn't
Where there
any in those
isn't any
sections
sidewalk.
where new pedestrian
Yeah.
traffic has been created by development of seasonal businesses.
Right.
Right.
And there is no sidewalk. So yes, it is an ongoing issue.
And while you're at it, why don't you mention the fact that if you have a section of sidewalk in front of your property and you've allowed your hedges and shrubs to grow out over it,
Right.
that
Please trim it back.
that precludes people from being able to